We were in Jackson, Mississippi, and he got word that a little boy in the hospital was dying, and that he wanted to see Elvis, and he couldn't make it to the show. He was too sick to get to the show, and so we loaded up in cars and we went to the hospital. And Elvis was wearing, Elvis met this little boy and talked to him, and he was wearing a cross that was made of garnets, and he took it off and he gave it to this child. And it was a real touching moment, just an hour or so before the show.
My wife was, gosh, 9 or 10, and her sister was maybe a couple of years older than that. They would go down to Graceland and in the hopes of seeing Elvis. And they would go down there almost every weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and many times he would actually come down to the gate and put his hands through the gate and shake hands and talk to people, and he did it often. Sometimes he did it by himself, and that just made their day, you know, and it just, again, shows the type of person that he is, that he would do that. And back then, he had that sort of devotion in his fan base. And those people have gotten older, but they're still devoted to him, and their kids are now big fans, and their grandkids are now big fans. And so it just says a lot for what he has done and the influence that he's had.
That's pretty. And I always will.
The true measure of a man's success is not what he achieves and acquires for himself in his lifetime, but what of himself he gives to others. Elvis Presley touched the lives of millions and millions of people the world over. With his music, his movies, and his live performances, Elvis brought joy to the hearts of people everywhere. And even today, over 3 decades after his untimely death, Elvis's music and his legacy continue to have a lasting and profound impact on music and popular culture around the world.
I think Elvis did so much over such a period of time that he's just transcended any kind of other artist.
And yet, for all Elvis's phenomenal success as an entertainer, perhaps the King's most endearing quality and the greatest of his legacies was his enormous generosity to others who were less fortunate than he was.
I always felt like he tried to give back to his fans more than he took from them. And whenever he gave a piece of jewelry away like on the stage, when he take off a ring and hand it to a fan, it was just an act of love on his part. He just loved his fans, and they're what made him work, and why he worked so hard was his fans. He loved his fans.
He liked to see the enjoyment, because when a guy gives you a new Cadillac or gives you a house or gives you a free trip to Hawaii, you become elated, and that made him feel good. He didn't play golf, he didn't fish, he didn't hunt, all that stuff. And to give stuff away and make people happy, that's what he enjoyed.
When Elvis walked out of the Sun Studios on July 5th, 1954, he never could have known that within a very short time, he would become one of the most influential and beloved Americans of the 20th century. Even in his wildest dreams, he could never have imagined what he would accomplish in a short but truly remarkable life.